So today I've got a very interesting question to ask to all of you. So why some of these smart people make a very bad decision with respect to their investments? There is nothing wrong with the market, but there is something wrong with their behavior. So it is important to detour and discuss about behavioral biases in investment decisions. See, both the investment decisions and behavioral biases are indispensable to each other, right? And they say that emotions are always should be kept away from your investment decisions. But sometimes there are three dominant emotions which will come into picture when we talk about investment decisions. The first one is your fear, the second one is the hope, and the third one is the greed. And today in this session, we are going to talk about some of the behavioral biases with respect to investment decisions. So let me share the screen with you now and take you through the some of the behavioral biases with respect to investments. Just let me make it a full screen for you. So this is a very interesting one which is called as the availability of heuristic. Now what does this actually mean is, see, you get to get influenced by the recent news that you hear actually. Now I'll give you the best example for this. Now let's say you have heard the news about the plane which is crashed, and you start reading the news all over the media, it is there. So your investment decisions will keep following this very aspect. Now what happens here is, let's say all of a sudden you are hearing the news about the plane crash. You tend to believe that traveling by plane is more dangerous. So statistically, if you look at it, traveling by road is even more dangerous. So that is called as the availability of heuristic. Okay. So this is one of the bias that we talk about. Now let me take you to some of the other biases in investment decision. So this one is called as the confirmation bias. So here we see comfort rather than the truth. Okay, the best example which comes to my mind to explain you this confirmation bias is, you start believing that certain amount of diet is good for your health, and all of a sudden you start reading positive news about that belief already that you have in your mind. So you tend to neglect the other aspects. So you will only hear the positive news about that particular certain diet which is good for health. This is called as the confirmation bias. So in other words, investor will decide the first and then look for a data to support their view. This is one of the bias with respect to behaviors in investment decisions. So again, one more is a familiarity bias. Okay, they say that a known devil is better than an unknown angel. So this particular aspect will itself stop you from exploring the better option. So let me give an example for this. So you're always comfortable with certain brand of mobile phones. So again, you want to take a decision, you go with that brand itself. So without exploring, there could be a better opportunity available, the better option available. This is called as the familiarity bias, and this definitely prevents you from looking into for other better option. This is one more interesting one which is called as herd mentality. So of course man is a social animal, and as a man we always love to be in the group, and all our ancestors, all the hostile situation they have come across, and they have fought with the animals, and they have always lived in the group. Now, for example, this I will relate it to our investment decision. Now for example, you find a restaurant which is already crowded, and you certainly try to follow that restaurant itself without checking into the quality of the food. This aspect itself works against the investors interest, because you follow the herd mentality, maybe just going the other way around. Not following the herd mentality could be better strategy sometimes. And one more, the last one is loss aversion. So let's say you have you have there is an opportunity for you to gain 5,000 rupees. Okay, you will not focus much on this, but you will always think of losing that 5,000 rupees. So the pain of losing that 5,000 rupees is more rather than the happiness of gaining that 5,000 rupees, right? So that's a reason, loss hurt more than the gain feels good, is what they say. So such behavior often leads people to stay away from profitable opportunities, because you don't take a risk at all. You will always feel bad that I will lose 5,000 rupees, and you will always not see the opportunity of gaining that 5,000 rupees, and hence you will always lose the opportunity, a better opportunity. So thank you so much. This was a quite interesting one and a very short session. And watch out for more on this. And in the next session, I'm going to talk about what is recency effect and how does that affect your investment decisions. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. Some more very interesting aspects are coming on your way with respect to training, consultancy and other financial decisions. So I look forward for such sessions along with you, and hope this information was very much valuable to you. Thank you so much.